Hey everybody, it's Sunny the Wind Sage, and welcome back to Let's Play Kindred Spirits on the Roost post-game. In the last episode, we took care of Hina's events, and... well, yeah, we took care of Hina's events, and there were some pretty good events too, and actually one of the longer events we've actually had in a while. We haven't... looking back on it, not many events, like, trickled over an hour and 5 minutes. So for this one to be like an hour 10, that's the uncut. It's actually the longest part, but that little besides behind the scene trivia aside. In this episode, well, we don't have many events left. We have, of course, we have these Umi and Maki ones along with whatever pops up following it in the cleanup, but we also got what we're tackling this episode, the final set of, well, in a way, kind of the final set of like streamlined character specific free time events with Yuna. Again, the reason I decided to do Yuna last is because, well, it kind of felt like some nice bookends, even if the cleanup does kind of ruin that pace a little bit. We started with Yuna, and so I thought it made sense to end with Yuna as well. So, yeah. It honestly, I feel like it feels like in a way it could be a little weird giving these little Apple events to, well, the main character of the story, as they've already had a lot of screen time and were pretty like fleshed out and developed. Where more of the other characters kind of needed a little bit of that extra spotlight, I feel. But hey, I feel this could be interesting, and even if it's, again, even if it's not huge, like, character developing or anything big like that, I feel these could still be nice, and hey, maybe, hey, who knows, maybe this will surprise me. With that said, let's dive right in. Mama Yuna. That actually could. That nickname I feel was something Anna would give her. What's panna cotta though? I've never actually heard of that. It's even he is calling her Mama Yuna. Well, in her case, it's Mama Yuna now, but yeah. I do really like the events with Yuna though, that when they're kind of like when she's talking about cooking and all that, because like Yuna unfortunately is kind of a character that doesn't get too passionate a lot of the time. However, she definitely does when it comes to cooking, and I feel it certainly kind of shows a bit of a contrast in how she was, especially here in the beginning. So I do like the interactions she have, and you know, her kind of being the little like mother of this little group of three, like you know, it shows kind of a different side to her, because you know she's usually very like complacent. Is that the word? No, maybe not, but she usually is just very, like, I guess indifferent. It's again, this is mostly in early game. In later game, she definitely opens up more, but I'm talking about before she opens up. She seems like very, like, indifferent most of the time. She's more just doing the kindred spirit stuff because she can, and, you know, there's some other elements to it. So, you know, when she does the things, like, when she's talking about stuff she's really passionate about, or taking the situation like seriously and really going like through with it. I feel it helps her character out a bit. And you know, that's why I really like Yuna by the time we get to the end of the story, because she does become more, you know, I guess a bit outgoing as a person. She definitely becomes less indifferent. Anyway, June. That's an interesting title. Who's Hanako though? I don't remember that. Hanako-san. No, that's not the name of anyone that's not the name of anyone in the story. At least I don't remember anyone. No, I don't think anyone has that last name. Anyway. So it's kind of like a urban legend sort of deal. I think I might have heard like a legend like this before, like of a toilet monster or something like that. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I, I wouldn't. Um, I wouldn't be too shocked if I've heard about something like that in the past. You do hear of quite a few weird stuff. Maybe I'll look it up between parts. Like, I don't know if its name was Hanukkah, like this is based off some sort of actual myth, or if this is just a rumor made up for this event, but I feel like I've heard of something like that, like, or maybe it's just like something that like possesses inanimate objects, so maybe that's what I'm thinking of, but anyway. Well, I guess maybe it's because you do actually talk to ghosts now. That makes sense. Hey, if I could see these two ghosts, what's just like, what's one more ghost just to add on to the pile? Just probably just maybe like, just probably just wondering like, if maybe she can see other ghosts besides those two. I don't know what that whole thing is. They never really go into detail why Yuna has that ability or power to see Sachi and Megumi, but at the end of the day, it doesn't even really matter the grand scheme of that story. And you don't. It kind of lingers in the back of your mind maybe, but it's not too important, which is why I'm not too bothered. Why they never really seem to go into detail about it. Anyway. I wonder if this maybe is actually one of the kindred spirits just messing with people, cause Sachi at least said that she does have like the power to at least like manipulate objects around her, like just a little bit though. So I can't imagine just like Megumi doing something like this, but this is kind of an interesting event. Yep, it was Megumi. Called that shit from a mile away. This coming from someone who's literally a ghost. Right. The ghost telling me she doesn't believe in monsters. Well, I mean, it's not inherently the same thing. Like a ghost is seen as a monster, but at the same time, it's just like it's a spirit. It's like the spirit of a human in a way. Where monsters, you can get like monsters is a more like vague term, I guess, or like more of an umbrella term. And so I can believe her. I can believe her not really believing in monsters. Oh shit! I think this is the first time we're seeing like a freaking creepy expression with Sachi. What the hell is that? Yeah, it's even creepier than Megami is because like just staring at you. She looks a little dead-eyed, honestly. Anyway. Man, it's been forever since we heard the term like Yuritopia. Honestly, I actually completely forgot that was a thing. But, well, hey, I guess maybe we actually. I guess you can say we did reach that goal in the end. Maybe. I'm not sure how I feel about the music bee to stave off their boredom either. This is an example of a scene that's like, it doesn't really add anything much to the characters. You know, like Megami and Sachi pulled pranks with their ghost abilities. That seemed pretty normal. That seems like something they'd do. More Megami than Sachi, admittedly, but yeah. Wait, was that it? Wait, what the fuck? oh, that. Okay, that scared me for a minute. I was like, wait, was that it? We're gonna have literally the shortest episode ever, of the series, at least. I mean, no, not even of the post game series. I think I've had some main game parts that were shorter in the beginning. Anyway, but anyway, that was an example of an event that's like, you know, it's nice. It doesn't really add too much. You know, it's the kind of stuff you'd expect, but it's nice. You know, for me, who's tackling this last, it's kind of nostalgic in a way. When me tackling this last, and I haven't played the game in a while, just seeing them, you know, interact like that, it's nice. Anyway, summer recipes. Also, are we just gonna have one for each month following at this point? Kinda seems like the trend will, except for April, but yeah. Anyway. All right, so we do get a we do get a little bit more of a little sense of Yuna's personality. Er, well, it's not really anything too like grand or spectacular, really. Are we really gonna end up going through all these months? Son of a bitch. Oh god, is this after like confession? No, this is summer camp. This is before the festival. Yeah, I you know, it's not too much of a like more insight into Yuna, but we do kind of see like her like how she really like does like sincerely enjoy planning all these things and stuff like that. Like, you know, to an extent, it's kind of like seems like mundane stuff, but like, some people just like sometimes you just like what you like, and it helps that the whole that planning is about like cooking and stuff too, which is what she's passionate about. So yeah. Anyway, just yeah, that's it. Did we miss any months? No, I would have noticed at this point, as this one wouldn't be here if the other previous months like this. Bleh. What am I trying to say? This one wouldn't be here if the ones in the past, if there was one in the past I didn't see. Anyway. uh, Everything for the sake of sleep. uh, you know, I call Ahina simple, but Naina's debatably just as simple. well, not really. Naina is, one of those like, has more complicated under the surface sort of deals. Where even like scratching the surface, Hina's still like pretty simplistic in character. I do wonder if something's like sincerely up with Naina. Like there's a reason she's tired all the time. Like it's like some sort of medical thing, or she's just one of those people. Oh, work hard as you can during the week so you can be lazy during the weekend, or something like that. There is a saying like that, or like, yeah, there is some saying like that, and it kind of does apply here. Yeah, that was kind of oddly part of another reason I'm surprised she was able to get all her work done, because like I'm surprised that Umi does not drag you everywhere. Well, in theory, storing up sleep is kind of a thing. I guess it's more storing energy, but we sleep to like prevent ourselves from being tired. So I guess in a way that's storing sleep, or storing energy through sleep, I guess. Hmm. I'm curious as to what actually happened, considering it's, because considering this specifically going to Anna, I imagine she like ended up forgetting something, right? Because they do say that Nana's pretty forgetful. Oh right, no, there's also like the super crippling shyness Ano has. I should have seen that coming right from, yeah, this line right here. That being said, you don't really notice something like that given the art style, but like, I guess it makes sense due to like Ano, like, honestly, Ano wears like, like you know, she's wearing this with all the wrinkles, like it's kind of like loose clothing. That's why I thought like the horizontal like distance, like, the horizontal distance was big. But I guess that's another reason for it. Yeah, the art style doesn't really. Guess you could say the art style is modest in that sense, and I'm like, yeah, thank God that never happens. I guess it's also because they're generally wearing a lot of things like, like jackets, vests, and like in this case, like clothing that's just like kind of loose. So I guess that's another reason for it. I guess another point to the art style. It's modest. And then, this isn't really. I was about to say, and the goofy music playing, but this isn't really the goofy music. There isn't like a dedicated like goofy music track in this game. I was just reading that line for a second, then I realized it's like, wait, what? Did I be wrong? So sometimes when you're stressed, you just gotta be like a smart ass every once in a while. I assume that's what she's doing. She's kind of picking on Ano a little bit. God damn it, Yuna. Et tu, Yuna. Poor Otto. Even he is picking on her. You know, I never really expected it from Nana, honestly. You know, like I said, sometimes when you're just stressed out, like, it's not even like being a smartass for the sake of being a smartass. It's just sometimes you like, so, like sometimes you, like, you, you know, first off, too, you know, you don't have to, like, you don't ever really try to intend to, like, hurt anyone by teasing. It might actually be hurting Ano a bit, but who knows. But you know, and sometimes you just gotta, like, say what's at the forefront of your mind. So sometimes, like, if someone's pissing you off, you just gotta tell them they're pissing you off. That's my view on it. Of course, time and place, and you gotta make sure nothing bad actually happens, but yeah. Really, even he is joining in on on the teasing. uh, Honestly, when it comes to, like, like, honestly, when it comes to, like, honestly, usually when it comes to things like what you would consider like a fan servicey scene, or like a just like boob talk like that, though, it usually bothers me. It depends on it. I know, freaking, like, you know, I don't mind in this case because it's not meant to be fan service. It's just meant to be a little fun. It's just meant to be a little funny. Rebirth 1 certainly got that right. Too bad not many other hyperdimension. Too bad 2 and 3 couldn't really follow that example with Vert anymore. But you know, this is just meant to be just kind of like a lighthearted comedic thing. Unfortunately, at Ano's expense, but well. We have an event here in October, so we did skip around a bit. Okay, I was about to say, wait, what? But no, that one isn't new. We saw that. Yuna and Hina. So this must be after the confession. Or maybe not. Actually, no, wait, this is the beginning of October. No, the confession certainly hasn't happened yet. It's easier to help other people than it is to help yourself sometimes. So, oh, I get it. It just is a thing. Because, like, you know you're, like, cause in theory, you know yourself better than any other person. I mean, you know yourself better than other people know you, so you know all your little, like, you unfortunately are aware of all your own little insecurities or problems or your own little issues that make yourself tick. And you sometimes just do that to yourself. So it's not like about being weak when put on the spot. Just it's a lot easier to help. It's a lot easier to help other people than it is to help yourself. And especially since she hasn't had, like, at this point, like, you know, she didn't do a lot of direct meddling, and even when her meddling was direct, it wasn't really talking about the issue of love in general. It was just doing something. Helping Maki find that secret spa. All she really needed to do was find it and clean the place up. With, like, Sono and Kitty, you know, they talked every once in a while. She helped with work during the summer camp, and she did help. She did help. She did help chase Kitty about one episode. But, like, yeah, again, all of that stuff, like, you know, we know love's the end, like, we know, like, love's the end. We know, like, getting these two together, like, getting two people together is the end goal, but we don't really talk too much about the subject, so, yeah, despite being Yuri Cupid, you also didn't do too much in terms of, like, really addressing the idea of love. You just kind of helped it along. I guess in a way you can also say this is a follow-up to the last event. She did follow up on her word about doing better. That's actually a very interesting story. It's all for, I guess you can say all kind of for the sake of being thrifty, I guess. I guess you said that it does get practical. This is another event though that feels like it's a little bit lost in translation because like it's not like quite lost in translation. Just you need to think about it a little more because something to remember is that all of this is in Japanese. You know, this is Japan and all that stuff. So I didn't know their names took 2 characters and that. And stuff like that. So, but it is kind of a nice thing when it is kind of like an interesting little touch when you think about it. How it's like both of them have like 2 character names and the last character is the same. So yeah, Japanese is a lot different of a language. So yeah. When it comes to like little jokes or like mentions of the language, it gets a little confusing for me, but this one makes sense because they explain it well enough. I mean, the closest thing we got to, the closest thing we got when comparing their names is that they sound similar, like Yuna, Hina. That's another nice event. And I guess another nice thing is kind of the detail, because it like slots right into that time of frame like so well. Like, in theory, like, I feel like in theory that could have easily been a that in a way, I guess it's nice when it feels like it fits well into the story, and all of them do, but that would really feels like it was like a main series cutscene, but it would have been a main series thing, but it wasn't relevant enough. But that being said, I guess we're done? Yeah. At least done with Yuna's part. So we only got these 2 events left, it seems, and whatever else might open up from these 2 scenes, because I just have some sort of confidence that we're not quite there yet. But I might need to look up, see if I'm missing anything with the extra events, but I feel like I'm on good pace for them. But that being said, we're gonna sign things off here. So next time on Kindred Spirits on the Roof, join us for what is potentially the finale. Yeah, I don't really know if it is. Again, we got cleanup, but who knows? There might be more events I'm missing, or maybe some prerequisites I didn't quite meet. Though I'm pretty sure I met all the prerequisites, so join me for what's potentially the finale. So see you guys then. And I also wanted to show something. Something to show is that, by the way, like I showed in the beginning, this has been my indication to see if that is the case. And considering it's still there, we've still got to keep trying. Of course, I got to do those events, but I guess I'll have to check on that more after next episode. So that being said, I'll see you guys then.